The new 2021 iPad Pro is here. Well, just about. What's up, people? Welcome to the channel where we talk about music licensing, music business, and music production. And today, Apple iPad Pro. If you love any of the previously mentioned, be sure to subscribe so you can stay up to date on all my latest content. And make sure you hit that bell icon so you get a notification every time I post some dope content. So today, on April 20th, Apple has announced the new iPad Pros. Now, a few videos back, I talked about iPad Pro and the possibility of Pro apps coming to the iPad Pro. And I honestly think Apple made a great step forward into making that happen. The power is definitely there on these new 2021 iPad Pros. So I'm gonna talk about a few of the things that I'm excited for on these new models and some things that really stood out. And yeah, man, we'll see. Obviously, they didn't announce anything about Pro apps being on these new iPads, but we still have some time to kind of see what the developers do, software developers, and see what they do with the power that, you know, the new iPad Pros now have. So let's dig into some of the features that stood out to me during this Apple event. One of the big things that definitely stood out was the increase in memory on the 1 terabyte and 2 terabyte iPad Pros, which is super duper dope. I think the highest you could go on the previous generation was around 8, if I'm not mistaken, 6 or 8, something like that. But we have the ability now to get a version that has up to 16 gigs of memory. So if you're using a lot of memory intensive things, you can take advantage of that, which is super duper dope. So that's exciting, and more than enough memory. I think I have like 16 on my everyday computer, and I'm running Final Cut Pro and Logic Pro and all those things with no issues whatsoever. So I'm excited to see that and what we'll be able to do with that on an iPad. The second thing that I was just super excited for is the Thunderbolt connection. That is huge, especially if you're transferring large files, and just the ability to hook up different devices that requires high speed. So super excited about the Thunderbolt connection versus, you know, the regular USB-C. So definitely excited to see what we can hook up to this joint. I'm gonna try audio interfaces, SSD drives, all types of stuff. So before I go into the next feature, this is one of the things that kill me about Apple. They're so dramatic, like, sometimes. So tell me why they're talking about, you know, how powerful these new 5th generation iPad Pros are, but they're comparing it to the 1st generation iPad. Like, of course it's gonna be 1,500 times more faster and powerful than the 1st generation. Like, why do they do that? I feel like they do that to make it more dramatic and make the number bigger. Because if you compare it to the previous generation, the number probably isn't as astronomical as comparing it to the 1st generation and like the now generation. Like, that's a huge gap. It should be more powerful. The other feature that I thought was super duper dope was the center stage for the camera. The ability to have that front facing camera follow you around, like, as you move and keep you centered, and like that's next level. That's kind of dope. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I would honestly use the iPad camera more, especially for, like, you know, like a Zoom call or something like that. I would use that more just because it has that feature. I don't know how often I would use the other iPad camera, but that's pretty dope. I like that. Another question for Apple: why would you come out with an all white Magic Keyboard. Like, it's all white. You know how dirty that joint gonna get? Like, yeah, I mean, I definitely wouldn't get that, but So overall, I'm excited about the new iPad Pro. I think I will definitely be grabbing the 12.9 inch. Still going back and forth on, I feel like I want to get the 1 terabyte just to get the 16 gigabytes of RAM, because I just feel like I want to be ready in case they decide to throw some pro apps on there, and at least make sure I have the joint maxed out. But I don't know. I have a little bit of time to decide, but I'm excited, looking forward to it. Still confused as to why they compared the first generation to the new one. Question of the day: what are you excited for from this last Apple event? Are you excited about the AirTags, the iPad Pros, the new iMacs? Let me know in the comments, and yeah, we can just chop it up in the comments. If you liked the video, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.